Hello and welcome to Artists Soar. This is a podcast for artists by 3 artists. We discuss all aspects of being artists, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The goal of each podcast is to provide solutions so artists can focus on their creativity and soar above. I'm Rachel Harshenko.
Jules McCullough.
Stephanie Weaver.
We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. In this episode, we're going to be talking about packing our art supplies for travel. Because it's almost summertime, or it is summertime.
It is summertime, yeah.
Who's going where and when?
I leave next week for Cancun.
Oh, that's right. But you got a herd. Dad's going with you.
Only 5. No, is that right? I have 3. Yeah, only 5.
Only 5.
It's like, how many do I have? How many do I have? We have 3, and I only have 2 more. We could have had 6.
Wait, is this like actual 5 kids or is this including you guys?
No, it's 5 kids.
There's 7 of them.
There's 7 of us going.
God,
I
why?
know.
So, what?
So
And you're bringing art supplies too?
I'm just bringing my iPad for this one.
Okay.
JP is bringing his girlfriend. Lauren is bringing one of her best friends.
Okay.
And Catherine wanted to bring a friend, but of course she's only 12. So her friend's parents weren't too keen on traveling out of the country, which totally understandable. I totally get it. So not a big deal. So yeah, I mean, realistically, you've got an 18, a 17, a 17, which both those 17-year-olds are almost 18, a 16-year-old who's almost 17, and a 12-year-old who's 2 weeks from being 13.
It's just going to be.
But then we're
Oh my God.
then we're home for half a day, and then and that morning, so we get home in the evening. The following morning, we go and pick up a U-Haul, load it up, and leave at noon to go to Chicago and Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're going to be traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks of go.
And then we're doing the British Isles in
The following
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
Are you
Within-
taking art supplies?
I probably will, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm leaning on Julie here.
Yeah.
But we leave out of Amsterdam and we're going to kind of go counterclockwise around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I will preface the fact that my art supplies travel is not based on taking only carry-ons on a plane.
You have suitcases.
I have suitcases.
What's the scale?
Yes.
The scale.
I
love that little
I-
scale thing.
oh,
It's really
I love
nice.
the scale.
Honestly,
it's a scale for weighing your suitcases when you're traveling. You just tie it to the handle and lift it up, and it tells you how much your suitcase weighs.
I like to do with fish.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
This way you don't buy
Get
too
over
much
with.
stuff and you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I will preface that fact. Would I love to be able to travel with just a carry-on and a backpack? Heck yeah. But it's just not realistic in my world.
Okay, so when you went to France,
France, yep.
and Spain,
Spain.
ding, 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 places I have yet to go, you packed like almost perfectly, like all your little.
Yeah.
I need to hear this.
Okay. So I bought a very bougie art supply kit or case.
Mhm.
It's this blue rectangular case. I don't remember who it's by. I have to find it. But anyways, I saw it on Instagram and I looked at it and I liked it. Has a little spot for some, sketchbook or watercolor paper, whatever. And then it has plenty, 2 inches worth of thickness for whatever you want in there supplies wise. So imagine this, 9 by 6. Nope. A little rectangular box that's maybe 2.5 inches tall.
It's almost like a lunch.
Yes. That's a
Kinda.
great, that would actually that would be perfect. Is a lunchbox.
Because then you.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead.
No, that's actually perfect. So for when I went to France and to Spain, they were both watercolor retreats. So I took my favorite watercolors, and I have these little thin tins that are, what are they? Maybe 4x6, maybe the size of a 4x6 photo card.
Yeah.
Or photo, roughly about that size, and they just perfectly fit.
3x5.
Yeah,
I think it's a 3x5.
maybe, but it's not
like an Altoid, but bigger.
but bigger. It's like but it's thinner, but it fits the watercolor half pans perfectly. So I took my pans and I put them into this blank little tin, and I had one for cools and one for warms, because I hate mixing colors. I can mix colors, but I hate it because I never mix the same color twice.
Yeah.
With watercolor, I can with paint, like acrylic and gouache, but with watercolor, I never mix the same color. But anyways, so I had one for warms and one for cools, and I think they fit like 20 up to 20 or 18 half pans in them. And I just put them all in there, and I made little labels for which of the colors were and everything. I bought some of my favorite paint brushes and a small spray bottle to put water in. And then I bought the makeup aisle, or the plastic art supply bin aisle in your Hobby Lobby or even Walmart, have these little 2-ounce little twist lid round containers. I bought one for clean water and one for dirty water. And then I bought the collapsible watercolor thing as well. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much my supplies. I did bring my 9x13 Strathmore paper with, and I think that's about all I had. So I really brought it down to the bare minimum, and I carried all that in my carry-on. Of course, all the water bottles and everything were empty. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to paint on the flight, let's say, mine were at night, so I had to sleep on the flight. But if I did want to paint on the flight, I can just fill them up either in the bathroom of the at the airport or on the airplane, mm-hmm. or ask for a bottle of water, whatever. So that worked. That's how I got through security with all that stuff in my carry-on. And then when I went to Cancun on a solo trip, I brought a little bit more. I brought the same watercolor and all that, but I brought a little bit more paper, and I brought my scanner. I have an Epson V19 or 39 or something. Yeah, it's super lightweight.
Okay. Just, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why would you bring your scanner?
Because as I watercolored stuff, I scanned it and I cleaned it up. And at that point in time, my process has changed a little bit since then. But at that point in time, I would watercolor it, let it dry for 24 hours, scan it in the next day, clean it up right then and there. And then when I have my idea of what I want to do with it, it would be ready to work on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was my process back then.
I gotcha.
Nowadays, I wouldn't bring my scanner with.
But your scanner was thin and
oh yeah, it's the V19, which I think it's the V39 now. It's no more than 3/4 of an inch tall. Huh. It weighs a pound, if that. And the cable, it connects with a USB-C, so it's not like it.
You had to pack an extra.
I didn't have a power cord for it. It's literally a USB-C cable
that plugs
scanner that plugs directly into my laptop.
Gotcha.
So it's not like when I say I brought a scanner with, I'm not talking some 5 pounds worth of crap that I'm carrying with.
It wasn't like an Epson.
No, I mean, it is Epson. No, but yeah,
wasn't a big old.
I mean, that's the thing. You think it's like, oh, then you're taking the power cord and all that. Well, this scanner doesn't have a power cord. It's charged with the USB-C. So, but yeah, and then now when I go next week to Cancun, I'm just taking my iPad with. Mm-hmm. I finally am comfortable watercoloring directly in an app on my iPad. Mm-hmm. And have my process all down for how I do that.
I really like that you have evolved your process. Just a side note.
Yeah, no, it's always evolving, and I'm still trying to refine it even more and kind of change it, because I'm not watercoloring like in a traditional means. I'm still watercoloring a lot, but I'm not watercoloring in a traditional means as much as I used to. I'm watercoloring a lot more on the iPad. And I'm not really sure why. I mean, when we went to pick, probably just because it's just more portable for me. I'm not really
I think
sure.
you started doing it a lot more after your surgery.
Yes.
Too. iPad.
Less
Yeah, you know what?
getting stuff out.
When I was struggling with having any sort of motivation, and really, I mean, I was pretty depressed. I think at least that's what my doctor keeps telling me. She was really worried about me. I, had a hard time just getting the motivation to do anything. So I did pick up my iPad a lot more. And since then and now that I finally have found a watercolor process on my iPad that I love and it looks like real watercolor, I don't care which way I do it. Yeah. So.
All right. So I'm going to change gears here for just a half a second. So what if you're an artist that takes your camera, and you take pictures as your inspiration when you're on trips, and then you do your artwork when you come back? Because I know
yes, I've done that
too. So
yeah.
How would you go about that? Would you take? Would you take your big camera, as the medium, the smaller? Would you just do your phone? Like how would you go about that now?
When I went to Spain and to France, I have a small Canon G10 that I took and my phone. And that sufficed for that trip. And I took a real camera with, because at that time my phone wasn't taking as high quality pictures as I necessarily wanted for what I consider a once in a lifetime sort of trip. Normally, now that I have a newer iPhone and I have the Pro Max one with the really good camera, I don't necessarily take my camera with me at all times.
Now, do you do that too? I'm asking Stephanie now. So would you do a phone reference photo, or would you you have a little camera, don't you?
Yeah, I've got I use Nikon.
Yeah.
But I don't like taking those. They're just big.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I just use my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, the little Nikon Coolpix is another one that I don't mind, because that one will go well on whitewater rafting, because or like camping, canoeing type.
Yes, and we have one like that too. Yeah. It's an Olympus that you can get wet.
Yeah, it's waterproof.
Right.
Well, I was going to say GoPro. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
those two, but it's not as good. It takes islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like the GoPro pictures that we got off ours. And honestly,
I'm kind of in the same boat on that.
The underwater camera that we have from Olympus takes back. It's just easier, and it's like a real camera. So we have that one. So when we go to Cancun, we'll be taking that with, because we're doing some underwater stuff.
And they're just like
yeah, I mean,
and Olympus, they're the size of a notebook card.
Right. And like the G10 that I took to France and stuff, I mean, it's literally, size of an index card.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5x3.
But now when we go to Cancun, we're taking my good Canon R camera, because we're taking senior pictures of Lauren and her friend.
Oh, so you are taking.
Oh.
So we're taking that, but I'm making JP carry it. So that I don't have to
build up some biceps.
And he's like, I want to take my camera. I'm like, which she just has my old camera. So I'm like, no, you're going to carry my good camera, and you can use my good camera if you so desire. But I want that camera with that lens for the pictures with the girls.
Right.
So, but if he wasn't coming along and interested in it, I don't know if I would, what I would do.
He wants to take pictures of the buildings.
Yes.
And just
and nature and all that kind of stuff. And so anyways, that's why we're taking that particular camera. But I can't carry that much weight anymore.
I used to have like the little Canon. I think it was more like a 6x4x6, the little Canon camera. Not Coolpix, but whatever, they're little. But I don't even know where that went. That went off somewhere.
Yeah, like my G10 is the size of a Coolpix. I mean, it's just a small camera.
I wonder, those who are photographers, I guess, packing to go on a trip, the majority of it has to be the equipment.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, and you've got to carry it on with you in most cases because it's all get out. I would never pack my body or my lenses.
Oh no,
There's no way. So you're carrying that on the plane with you, and yeah, it's just
saw your
pain. But yeah, and then one thing I didn't mention that of course I brought was my sketchbook, and I brought pencils, Blackwing. Pencil sharpener. I did not bring my colored pencils, which I usually add to my watercolor work. It was just too much to bring. And then so if I wanted to add any colored pencil to my watercolor work, I did that digitally in Photoshop.
I wonder how much time you're going to have to actually do your art
In Cancun?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to have time. No.
Okay.
That's why I'm just bringing
kids.
No,
That's why you're just doing your iPad.
That's why I'm just bringing my iPad because I bring my iPad anyways, and unfortunately I have to bring my book or my computer because I have some project work I have to review on the 25th or 26th, which is so
You'll be working.
Yeah, so I have to work that day. But
when you travel, do you do a lot of artwork?
No, I don't. Well, oils, I'm an oil person.
Right.
And so, no. The travel-wise, if I were to do a workshop, I usually drive, so that way I have everything that I want. If I were to do something long distance, I would ship it to the hotel ahead of time.
You can't take it on the plane, I guess?
You can, but it's just, I wouldn't want to worry about it. Yeah, because I would actually transfer a lot of my paints over into these little refillable tubes.
Uh-huh.
And I've got these mini tubes that you can put paint into and crimp them up and do all that. But I would just ship it.
Okay.
And maybe
because they get heavy.
Heavy.
Even if you take 10 tubes of paint.
Well, when I do plein air painting and I've got the backpack on, my backpack by itself weighs 30 plus pounds.
Oh, geez.
So yeah. I'm not gonna carry all that.
No, I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. Yeah.
So now when I travel, I'll take a camera, and I can tell you 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I never reference those pictures again.
Yeah.
For artwork.
So you don't?
No. I went to Prague, and I have a whole bunch of pictures from that. I did one painting of all of that, and that's in a closet because it's not interesting to me. That when I travel, it's more for the experience. When I paint, it's more for the story.
Yeah. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense because, I'm trying to think how often I reference, but I do reference a lot of leaves and flowers from my travels on my phone. Yeah.
And I think you guys, when you travel, you're going for relaxation.
Yes.
I'm not doing that. And I don't take my paintings. When I travel, and you guys are worried about me traveling with you to Cancun next year, because I'm hey, let's go visit the ruins. Hey, let's go do this. Hey, let's do that.
Yeah, you're like my husband.
And you guys are with your books.
Yeah. We're, you know what? We're going to compromise because we love each other.
Exactly.
And we'll be walking up the freaking mountains for you, woman. But you're going to be reading a book on the beach one day, too.
That's fine.
I don't think I'm going to walk up the 600 steps, though, to see the sunrise like my husband and son would.
God, then 600 steps.
They did.
You could do that.
You could do that.
Stairmaster that tells you, oh, you're a quarter of the way up the.
Yeah, they got some beautiful pictures.
Can you do the sunset or something? Where you gotta go?
I am not carrying a 30-pound rucksack type thing to go and paint up there.
No, I would just take photos. Yeah,
that's just to go up there and just experience.
Exactly. Yeah,
that would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't travel with my stuff at all.
Yeah, I mean, this last few years is the first time I ever have. Usually I just had my camera.
You had art retreats. You were
right, exactly.
And the way you packed was so beautiful. It just I was just in awe. I was like, look at this. And you're like, yeah, those are my warm colors. I'm like, let me see your cool colors. And I'm just like looking at everything. It was so adorable.
But you packed and repacked that over the course of a month. And I remember looking at it going, and I think I was there with you.
Yes.
And you were like, oh, let me see this. And I'm sitting there thinking, don't touch it. It's also perfectly packed. I know.
I was touching everything. So I was like, it's so pretty.
It's so
I want to touch the boat. I want to touch the butt.
Dory.
That movie.
Anyway, that was me.
Yeah.
No.
But that is true. I did pack and repack several times because I wanted to get it down.
Yeah.
And I have a habit, like the first time I pack, I have too much stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I'll repack and I'll take stuff out.
I think you took pictures of this, right?
Yeah, you did. I think you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I may
I
have.
had to look at
I'll have to look them up and see if I have them still.
Yeah.
I'll link it if it is. So
Yeah.
we'll be good. All right, guys. Until next time, and enjoy your summer.
Thanks for listening to Artists Soar,
A podcast for artists by artists. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at hello@artistsoar.com.
And be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so you can get more of us and we can bring in some sponsors to help you and help us.